Big ass, how I get that ooh.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
What's goody, YouTube? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to yet another live reaction video. If you're new here for the first time, my name is TMR, and since you clicked on this video, you might as well subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave your comments down below, and enjoy this reaction video. What's goody, YouTube? What's good, TMR gang? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another live reaction video. I'm your girl TMR. Thank y'all so much for stopping what you were doing and meet me over in this damn break room, y'all. Oh boy. All right, y'all. Y'all see the title and y'all see the thumbnail. Before we get started with that conversation, and we're gonna have a couple more conversations. I want to say Merry Christmas, y'all. I'm so sorry. Yesterday, I forgot to wish you guys a Merry Christmas on my community tab. And I am deeply sorry about that, child. You know, yesterday was busy. I'm pretty sure you guys were busy. And once I got settled for the night, you know, after everything was going on, I was like, oh, shoot. It was already after midnight, child. So the day was over. But I trust you all had a Merry Christmas, right? I know you guys did. And I hope and pray that you got everything you wanted and more. I hope your kiddos or grandkids or whomever got everything they want. I pray that Christmas was very beautiful for each and every one of you all. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, y'all. I forgot all about it. I was just so busy yesterday. So, all right, y'all. Happy, what's his day? Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you guys. What's up, PRB? What's up, Miss TLD? What's up, Angel? What's up, Latoy? Sunrise. Who else is in the building? Michelle, Von. Manye is in the building. Mels, Fluffy, Stephanie, Honey Drasco. Let's see. Sophia, Brianna, Candy C, wait for it, Shirley, Tasha Nicole up in the building, Latoya, Candy C, the Pink Lips. All right, y'all, let's get into it, honey. Y'all see the title, and y'all definitely know. I'm pretty sure you guys are all aware of what's been hovering around the internet, the alleged allegations on TD Jakes, right? What's up, Nearly? How are you? Hey, Jessica. Hey, Juana. Hey, Destiny. The alleged allegations of TD Jakes allegedly being called a power bottom because, you know, rumors started on TikTok that TD Jakes was at a Diddy party, and allegedly there was some behaviors going on at that party that was not godlike. Okay. Now here's the thing, y'all. I'm gonna get started by saying this, and this was even before these rumors surfaced the internet. I personally am not a TD Jakes fan. I never have been. I'm gonna be honest. I've never really listened to one of his sermons. I've listened to a little of one years ago, but I just never got into TD Jakes. You know, he seemed more commercial to me than anointed. Even like Joel Osteen, he's another pastor that I never really got into, and so from my understanding, from things I've seen on the internet and conversations I've had with people in the past, you know, there definitely has always been rumors about that family. Over there at that church, it was the Potter House in Dallas, Texas. And you know, I will say this. I don't know what's true, obviously. I have no idea of what's true. However, I listened to a video excuse me, last night And it was of a guy named Tony Gaskins, and he actually had a lot of insightful things that he spoke on in lieu of, all the allegations that's coming out about TD Jakes. Now, one thing I will say is, once I heard that TD Jakes went to Diddy's birthday party, I believe this was maybe like last year, I was side-eyed in that, because I was like, okay, birthday party? Why would TD Jakes go to Diddy's birthday party? Now I understand you're the same way, Miss Monet. I understand this whole mentorship relationship Diddy says he has with TD Jakes, but even with all that being said, we already know, Diddy is very worldly. Okay, he's of the world. He's a producer, hip hop producer. And I just didn't think, once I heard that, I said, well, I don't see where Diddy's parties would be a place for a pastor, a bishop, a minister, anybody. I just didn't see that being a place for TD Jakes. Like, at the end of the day, what did you go there to save souls? Did you have blessing oil in your back pocket? I just found it very odd that TD Jakes would be at Diddy's birthday party. I could see if it was some type of charity dinner or something like that. But we already know at Diddy's parties, regardless of the allegations that has came out about Diddy, we know that what's going to be at his party is drinking, smoking, fornication, all kind of, illicit things are going to be going on at this party. And I just didn't understand why that would be a place for a pastor to be at. I just didn't understand that. But again, you guys, I've never been into TD Jakes. When I listen to him, one thing I could say is he is a very good motivational speaker. However, I don't get an anointed feeling when I have listened to him in the past. The few sermons that I listened to, I never got an anointed feeling. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Recently, I discovered Keon Henderson. Okay, if you guys are familiar with Keon Henderson, he is the husband of Shani. Shani, I remember Shaquille O'Neal's ex-wife, Shani. They just recently got married a few years ago, and I definitely enjoyed him. Now, I listened to some of his sermons. I listened to one yesterday. I listened to one Christmas Eve, and I was thoroughly engaged in Keon Henderson's conversation. Okay, and I also did some research on him, and lo and behold, he's from where I'm from. He's from up this way. So I was like, oh, okay, now I see why. He's from my neck of the woods. But I don't know. I never really got into TD Jakes, and I'm not saying that the things that's being said about him should be said about him. Again, the only one that knows the truth is obviously him and God. But there was some type of prophet that was on TikTok. And about a couple years ago, she actually prophesies this situation coming out about TD Jakes. She prophesied this like a couple of years ago. There's videos on TikTok. You said Keon got some allegations too. Oh, I'm not familiar with those, but I enjoyed his sermon. I don't know. I don't know anything about his allegations. Who said that? Let me see. Michelle. I'm not for sure of his allegations. I didn't see that. None of that tea came up when I did my little mini search. But I did enjoy his sermons. I enjoyed those. Pretty LOL, they look so awkward together. Pastors like him are nothing more than motivational speakers. It's a money grab. It definitely is. And, at the end of the day, church, in his situation, it is a business. Okay. TMR, he was outed as well. Oh, okay. What was he outed for? Keon Henderson, what was he outed for? Please don't say something very salacious. No, now I do like Sarah Jakes. I pray nothing come out on her. Yeah, Sarah Jakes. Okay, TD Jakes' daughter, right? That's his daughter. Is she the one that allegedly took a woman's child and never gave it back or something to them? They've been dogging him and Shani for a minute. Oh, really? I didn't know that. You said Keon and TD Cakes go way back too. Ooh, okay. See, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really get into, like I said, I just discovered Keon. I knew Shani had remarried, and I knew she had married a pastor, but I just didn't know who it was. I didn't really care that much to look. But once I found him, when I was doing some Google search and I found him, I went to YouTube to hear what he was about, because I had never heard him speak before. And then that's when I realized, oh, this is the guy that's married to Shani. Okay. She the pastor. Yeah, because didn't TD Jakes no, okay, that's Cora, the sister. Okay, not Sarah. Because didn't TD Jakes give the church to Sarah? I think that's what I heard yesterday. He was allegedly dealing with another man in the church. Oh, really? Huh. Well, you know what, y'all? I'm gonna say something. We definitely know rumors, right? People will say things about you. Doesn't necessarily got to be true, but it doesn't stop people from saying things about you. You said, my bad, Cora. Sarita is the mama. Okay, Sarita is the mother. Sarah Jakes is complacent. I'm sure she knows of her husband's hidden life. Oh, Lord, all this. Oh my God, all these people got this junk going on. I'm going to just say this, y'all. At the end of the day, you just got to use discernment when you're listening to people. And I understand people like to hear motivational speaks, because a lot of people don't necessarily understand the Bible. So when you have someone that's speaking the Bible and they're speaking a good talk, you'll get engaged with the conversation. And at the end of the day, it's this, I hate that this stuff is being said about TD Jakes and many other pastors, and, in the past as well, Eddie Long and a slew of others, because, people already don't have very much faith in the church, right? People already have very little faith in the church. Not all people, but a lot of people do. And then when you hear things like this, I just really feel like it gives the devil more power to push people away from the word of God. That's just my personal opinion. And I just hate when things like this happen. But you got to understand, man is flesh, and flesh can be tempted, and let's be honest, y'all. People are not perfect. I'm not commending, or I'm not upholding anything that's going on with Pastor or Bishop Jakes, TD Jakes. Again, all I know is these are the things that are being said. These are allegations. From my understanding, there's no concrete proof. It's just a bunch of conversation. Well, just here in the last few hours, Storm Monroe, which is a blogger here on YouTube. I've been following Storm since before he even got with Tasha K. I've been following Storm when he was doing the celebrity prescriptions. Well, before he even, I think when I started following Storm, I don't even think he had 20,000. Now he's at almost 300,000. Well, he did a live a few hours ago stating that TD Jakes, I'm just going to say his people, struck his channel. And they basically struck his channel based off of conversations that Storm is having about the rumors / allegations that are out here about TD Jakes. So his channel got struck today. And, I found that to be kind of odd, because y'all know the whole Shirley Strawberry or Ernesto, Steve Harvey. Y'all, and I pretty much sure that you guys are aware of the phone calls of Ernesto, of Shirley Strawberry, husband Ernesto. There's a channel out here called Phone Calls from Prison that has a lot of those phone calls on YouTube. And y'all remember a few months ago, Steve Harvey and Shirley Strawberry and the whole team came out here to basically talk on a conversation that was brought to YouTube, a video or telephone conversation that Shirley Strawberry was having with her husband, Ernesto, who was in jail, who still is in jail, but at the time when this conversation happened was in jail. And Steve Harvey came out here to talk about that, him and Shirley, basically to confront that conversation. And obviously, there's a lot of YouTube channels that have grown pretty big platforms just discussing that topic alone, right? And I didn't hear of Steve Harvey striking any channels, right? Now, one thing I do know, when Steve Harvey came out here to talk about the allegations about him and his wife, he did speak poorly of bloggers, Black bloggers specifically, and he did, have some disdain for Black bloggers. But from my understanding, I hadn't seen anybody or heard of anybody saying that Steve Harvey struck their channel for having an opinion. Now, I will say this: there are people out here on the internet that gets real reckless with reporting, which quote unquote the tea. Okay, there are a lot of people out here that get real reckless with their conversations, and especially when you're talking about people, period, regardless if it's a celebrity or non-celebrity. When you're talking about people, again, people have the right to have their own thoughts and opinions, but you just got to be careful. Like, you could have a conversation and bring a story to your platform, but to ridicule and humiliate people, and I feel like that's a little too much. I think a lot of times people get a little too carried away with their platforms and their conversation. Now, in no way am I saying that's Storm Monroe. Like, at the end of the day, Storm Monroe has his style, and there has been time where I've listened to Storm's commentary on certain, viral tea or whatever's going on in the world, and there has been times where I feel like Storm got a little carried away, but at the end of the day, that's his channel and he has to deal with it. But he did do a video a few hours ago saying that his channel was struck by TD Jake's team, and as we know, y'all, it comes with the territory. But it's just funny to me that you can have like a TMZ and all these other mainstream media, but when it comes to bloggers, let's be honest, especially for the culture now, these bloggers right here on YouTube are what the people are coming to. I'm not saying people don't go to TMZ, but we know that these blog channels, there's a lot of times where an email will go to a blog channel and it'll get read or seen quicker than if someone sent an email to TMZ, right? And so people come to social media. It's almost like they trust social media now more than they do mainstream media, because again, mainstream media is what? It's mainstream, it's commercialized. And when we come over here to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or wherever you're going, Facebook, wherever you're going to get your tea, you get people who take a lot of time to cultivate these stories and tell you, give you the information. And then you have other people who are on the inside of some of these stories, and they'll send emails. Again, you always got to say alleged, because you don't know, you don't know who the source actually is. But you'll have people that will send emails and receipts to these bloggers, and then these bloggers will come on and they will tell what they've been, quote unquote, give you what the receipts allegedly are. So it's funny how they're striking these blog channels, when a lot of these blog channels, obviously, you guys are getting more attention than some of these mainstream media, because I think over the years, times have really changed. Once upon a time, we would go to the Inquirer to get our tea, or we would go to People Magazine, or we'll go to Us Weekly, or we would go to, a TMZ or something like that. But as times have changed, people are just really going straight to social media to get their tea, right? Because they want it with no cut, no chaser, right? They just want to get, the information that they need as quick as they need it, the little short overview, and then they go on, And then one thing about it, everybody has their own style of how they produce their content. And, like I personally like Chronicle Speaks. She's a blog channel on here. I enjoy her style of commentary. I watch her. Y'all know I love Lovely T. I'll watch her. I'll watch Storm Monroe from time to time. And there's a few other blog channels that I will watch. But I think, our times have changed, and the way people used to go to mainstream media, they don't go there as quick as they used to, right? Because they come here to YouTube or TikTok or Instagram to get their tea. So that's why you have to know God for yourself. That's true. And here's the thing, once upon a time, years ago, the King James version of the Bible wasn't very well you couldn't really understand it because the way it was written, okay, or rewritten. But now they have ways where the Bible has been translated to where when you read these words, they're easier for you to understand. They're not using these big biblical terms, and you have no way of understanding it. So if you can comprehend and you can read and comprehend, all you got to do is go get you one of these newer versions of the Bible, and they're very easy to understand. And again, I'm not saying don't listen to whoever you feel comfortable listening to. Like, in no way am I trying to discourage anybody from following TD Jakes or Joel Osteen or Keon Henderson and a host of other people out there. All I'm going to say is, y'all, use your discernment. Now, TD Jakes did a sermon Christmas Eve. It was his first time speaking since all these allegations have came out about him. And I did listen to his sermon. And in my opinion, it was a bad taste. I will say this. He probably made more money Christmas Eve than he's probably made all year. And he knew that. He knew that this was going to be a great money grab for him. And there, it was him coming on the pulpit to speak. And we all, more than likely, obviously, everybody's anticipating what he's going to say. And it was him saying that he didn't come here to talk about a lie. He came here to talk about a truth, but yet he still entertained, quote unquote, the lie. It was very contradictory for me. I'm like, sir, I thought you said you didn't come here to talk about that, but yet you took the opportunity to talk about it. And you took the opportunity for quite some time to elaborate on the story that you say is a lie. He sounded just like Eddie Long, and Eddie was lying like an MF. Yeah. I don't care for TD. I don't like his voice. Yeah, a lot of people don't either. And what's something else that was very funny that he said in his sermon? He spoke of the younger generation, right? He spoke of the Gen Z, Gen X generation. And he basically, in my opinion, I took it as he made it like it's the younger generation that's spreading all these falsehoods, and that he's 66 years old. And basically, what would he look like being, quote unquote, he didn't say bottom. He didn't say that. But basically, what would he look like being of what people are saying he is? Because, allegedly, they're saying that TD Jakes allegedly is a power bottom. Okay. Oh, Lord. And, at that point, I said, Bishop Jakes, sir. Yeah, Make It Make Sense is a good one, too. Yes, I watch him, too. I actually really enjoy him. And he just hit 100,000 as well, too. He deserved it. One thing I could say is there are a lot of gay, lesbian, 66-year-old people, men and women. Just because you old don't mean that you can't be gay / lesbian. It was him saying that he's 66. And basically he was saying he too old to be gay. I'm thinking to myself, no, you can be gay at 66. I'm not saying TD Jakes is, but when he said that, I was like, sir, That's not the point. That's not the point that you're 66. You know, there's plenty of older gay couples. Okay. TD bought the mega church Heritage here in Denver for a few years ago, called it Potter House Denver. First pastor got fired for cheating on wife. Then TD daughter hubby had SA allegations. Now, Baebay, not cheating on his wife. Or just scandal. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I just keep saying this, these people are of flesh, and flesh is easily tempted. They sold the church to Keller Williams after that last scandal, and now apartment are being built on the land. Not the church going to an apartment complex. Men didn't just start being bottoms with this younger generation, Mr. Jakes. Exactly, Miss TLD. And you know, I will say this, you know, y'all know me being 51. I will say this, times are definitely changing. Times are not like it was when I was 20, 25, 30 years old. Times have definitely changed. And, you know, this younger generation is definitely a generation of influence, right? And they see things very differently. And I'm not saying that we need to adapt to how the younger generation thinks, because at the end of the day, you think how you want to think. But this young generation is I mean, they definitely have an influence on the culture, right? They definitely have an influence on the culture. I will say that. So I don't know, you guys. Like I said, I take TD Jakes as being very commercial. I don't take him as being anointed. I don't take him as, I never have. This was even before the scandal. I never took him as being anointed. I feel like there sermons that I have heard him speak in the past, I feel like some of the things he has said, I didn't agree with. It was, I just didn't agree with, right? His daughter stole them kids. That's what they said. That's what, there's a lady on Facebook. Forgive me, you guys. What is her name? Oh my goodness. They have some type of free, whatever the little boy's name is, starts with a J. I'm assuming this woman is his mother. She is very vocal on Facebook about the whole situation with her child or children. Because is it Jason? Free Jason. Thank you, Nika. What is her name? Is it Mary Loud or something like that? Nicole E, I hadn't heard of the whole child being taken. Michelle Loud. Thank you, West Coaster Bus. I'm sorry. Michelle Loud. This is the mother of Jason. And I heard there's a channel that I seen yesterday that had an audio of her speaking on the situation of TD Jakes' sermon on Christmas Eve. And she also, you know, went into the whole situation of her son being taken and not given back to her. And the pain that I heard in that woman's voice, I said, oh my God, this is a nightmare. The way he addressed, Bria said, the way he addressed made me feel like there's some truth in it. Then he had the nerve to take an offering after getting the people riled up. Exactly, Bria. It definitely was a money grab. Pearl says, I'm here in Dallas and this has went all above my head. I need to keep my ears to the streets. Yes, you know, yeah, it's definitely a lot of talk. And I just hate it because, like I said, you know, a lot of people have very little faith in the church. And when all these, thank you, boss lady, when all these allegations keep coming out about these quote unquote head moguls of these churches, it's just a shame because it just, in my opinion, it just pushes people further and further away from the word, from the gospel. But if you're not speaking the gospel and teaching the gospel as God sees fit, then why are you doing it other than for a money grab? You know, TD Jakes is definitely a businessman. I don't think he's necessarily, in my opinion, of the anointed. I'll say that. I'll definitely say that. Yeah, Bria. It was Michelle Loud. I heard her side yesterday, and it was very, very heart-wrenching. I couldn't even get through all of it. I felt very bad for that lady. there's a channel on YouTube. She's crying in the car. You're talking about Michelle Lau crying in the car. It's a lot going on in this internet. But it's funny that this whole TD Jakes conversation is going on, because if you guys notice, it's taking some light off of Diddy. Not much, but it's taking a little light off of the Cassie Diddy situation. Now everything is TD Jakes, TD Jakes, TD Jakes. We still got another week left of this year. Yeah, it is, Pearl. It really is. It's taking a lot of light. Well, not a lot. It's taking a little light off the Diddy situation, and it's just TD Jakes at the forefront. And I guess people feel like, because you're supposed to be a man of God, these things shouldn't be said about you. Nobody should. In my opinion, there shouldn't even be a utter of a conversation of TD Jakes having anything to do with fornication with anybody, especially another man. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Tyler's coming with that Christian Keys situation. That's kind of quieted down. They're not really talking. Like I said, TD Jakes is taking the conversation over. So let's talk real quick, you guys, about The Color Purple. The Color Purple came out yesterday, Christmas Day. Did anybody in the chat get a chance to go see The Color Purple? I was actually going to go see it yesterday, and then I changed my mind because it got late, and I got lazy, and I got tired. So I said I might go see it next week. I think some big things are coming out in 2024. Girl, bigger than 2023. My goodness. Oh, Maja, you did? Okay. I hate that Oprah did not include Whoopi in on this. I don't care what nobody says. Whoopi, when I think of The Color Purple, I think of Celie. I think of Whoopi Goldberg. I never think of Oprah Winfrey when I think of The Color Purple. I think of Danny Glover and Whoopi Goldberg. Those are the people that I think of. So I haven't really heard much buzz about the movie. I really didn't look into it today. You said you heard it was good. Whoopi definitely was the star of that show. I remember, was it like 40 years ago The Color Purple came out? The Color Purple is one of my all-time favorite movies. The Color Purple and The Shawshank Redemption. And Tu Wong Fu. That's another one of my favorite movies. With Wesley Snipes and what's it? I can't think of the other actor's name. The other two actors' names. But those are The Shawshank Redemption. I love that movie. Oh my God, I love that movie. The Shawshank Redemption. And The Color Purple. I like Fantasia, but Whoopi was the best. That said, it's like a musical. You said I like Fantasia because Fantasia plays Whoopi's part, right? In the movie. Yes, I love Tu Wong Fu. I love that movie. That movie is freaking hilarious. If you guys have never seen Tu Wong Fu, Miss TLG just typed it in the chat. Make sure you guys go watch that movie. It is hilarious. They said the movie is based on the musical play, not the original movie. And see, that's, Circus Peanuts, that's where I have a little hesitation. Purple Rain, I didn't really care for Purple Rain. I wasn't very much of a Prince fan. My mom was a Prince fan. She loved Prince. I'm going to tell you another one of my favorite movies was Lady Sings the Blues with Diana Ross and Billy D. Williams. Lady Sings the Blues. Oh my God. Love that movie. I don't know. I just sometimes, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I just really wish they would have left The Color Purple just like it was. Yes, Jessica. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. Really, Mazda. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm definitely gonna go support. Taraji is Suge Avery. Yes, I'm familiar with that. I'm definitely gonna go watch the movie. I definitely am going to support. But I just wish they would have left well enough alone. I really do, because that is a classic, timeless movie. I can literally watch The Color Purple over and over and over and over again. The Color Purple is my favorite movie of all time. I can't see the new reinvention. I just don't want to be overly critical. Yeah, Whitney, I'm gonna definitely give it a chance. Yes, for the culture, we needed it. Okay. Exactly, TMR. How many times are they going to do remake? Right, they did a musical, which some movies are turned into musical, in all fairness. But I just really, I don't know. With Oprah not including Whoopi Goldberg bringing The Color Purple to the silver screen 40 years later, I don't know. I was a little sad about that. I really was. Yeah, no, Whoopi was not included. Apparently, Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg had, I don't know if they currently do, but they had some type of long-standing beef. And I guess as of recently, because the cast of the new Color Purple went on like a tour of going to different talk shows. And The View is was one of their stops. And apparently Oprah Winfrey wasn't on the stage with the cast of characters like she was when she went on Jennifer Hudson's show, and she went on the other show, the lady that took over the quote unquote Wendy Williams show. So she was on those talk shows with the cast of Color Purple, but apparently when she went on The View, for some reason she wasn't there. And y'all know Whoopi Goldberg is on The View, so. You said Terms of Endearment and Still Magnolia, two more top movies as well as Green Mile. I didn't really care for the Green Mile, but I did like Terms of Endearment and Still Magnolia. Yeah, I like those movies as well too. All right, y'all. I just wanted to get a little different conversation in with you guys. Who knows what's going to happen in 2024? Hey, Nurse KP. Hey, Kaya. Who knows what's going to happen in 2024? I definitely feel like as long as we keep living and breathing, the news is going to keep newsing, right? There's definitely going to be a lot of stuff that's going to keep coming out. And at the end of the day, you know, there are some terrible people in this world that some of us look up to. And if they got to be put out here on blast, then, I mean, you just gonna have to be put out here on blast. Whoopi was in the movie, but I can't stand Oprah. You know what? It's funny you say that, Tam Reed. I've never been. Y'all might think I'm weird. I've never been an Oprah Winfrey fan. I never. I did watch her talk show years ago. When it was the thing to watch, I did watch it. But over time, as Oprah got bigger, my interest in Oprah kind of changed. I mean, Oprah did definitely take down some walls, you know, when it comes to the people, but I just don't, I've never really cared for her. I mean, she's a very intelligent woman, very smart, very articulate, obviously, but I just never been a big Oprah Winfrey fan. I just wasn't. I don't know. I just never really was. And I stopped watching her show so many years ago. I can't even remember when I stopped watching her show. Sam, you wasn't either. Yeah, I just never been. I know some people just love Oprah. Me personally, I feel like Oprah appeals more to the white audience than she does the black audience. That's just my opinion. I did last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I watched the Jennifer Hudson talk show. I had never watched that before. I didn't really like Jennifer Hudson's talk show either. I'm just, you know, talk shows is not really my thing. I'd rather sit and listen to a podcast before a talk show. I think talk shows are the thing of the past, and people are more into podcasting, YouTube conversations. You know, I think people are more into that than they are talk shows. That's just my opinion. I'm looking forward to the Epstein guest list being out for the pub. Ooh, yeah. She definitely does, Sean Smith. All the people she's close with are pedos. I mean, unfortunately, and they're the ones with money. Yes, I was never a big fan of her either, but I did watch her talk show. Yeah, I stopped watching Oprah's talk show. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It was probably like the early 90s, maybe mid 90s is when I started watching it. I hadn't watched it in years before it actually even went off the air. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get into a different conversation. We're gonna change a little focus. Y'all, the end of the year is approaching, you guys, and I've said this to you before. I said this last year, but I'm gonna say it again. Y'all let me know in the comments. I know you guys say you're tired of the moms and y'all want different conversations. But y'all know I'm good at talking about the moms. I'm good at that. I keep you guys laughing and I make it interesting. I make it comical for you guys. However, the moms are not really doing much to talk about. If you guys notice, we didn't really see anything from the ladies for Christmas. Now, Jasmine did put up a video today where her 5 kids were making one gingerbread house. Okay. She did do that. As far as opening gifts, y'all know Jasmine typically is a little behind on the seasonal content. So we probably won't get a Christmas video to probably Martin Luther King's birthday. And I believe this year MLK is maybe on the 15th or so. Y'all let me know, because like I said, you so silly, Renee. I could definitely give y'all mommy conversation. I just don't. I got to figure out a way how to do it. I know you guys say let's incorporate some new mommies. And I don't know about that. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, in order to talk about these moms or to discuss, let me say this, in order to discuss what's going on in their channels, you have to have been watching for quite some time. Right? Yeah, nearly Martin Luther King birthdays when Jasmine gonna put the Christmas video out. Child. You got to be talking. You have to be watching them. Right. And so the reason why I feel like I could give you guys good reactions on Chrissy, Olivia, and Jasmine in particular, it's because I've been watching them for like 5 years. Next month it'll be 5 years that I've been on YouTube. So I've been watching them for a very long time. And y'all know I'm infamous to saying, do y'all remember? Because a lot of y'all been with me just as long. So y'all remember a lot of these videos. But I have a goal for 2024. I want to get my channel to 20K, right? In order to get my channel to 20K, I have to start incorporating different conversations, right? I got to start incorporating different conversations so more people can know that we're over here in the break room. So, like I said, you guys, I'm going to figure out how this is all going to transform for the break room in 2024. But just trust and believe. If you like me and you like my style of content, y'all know whatever I do, I'm going to make it comical for y'all. I'm going to make it as interesting as I can for you guys. So just hang on in there with me. Maybe we'll do mommy content once a week, maybe twice, maybe 2 times a week. We'll wrap them all up. And then the other days we can try to do, pop culture and stuff going on. I know a lot of people, you guys, I don't follow. At the end of the day, if y'all haven't noticed, TMR is just a little nosy. I'm not a lot of nosy. You know what I mean? I just ain't never been a super nosy person. And no disrespect when I say this. I feel like in order to know what's going on, you got to be in the know. And I'm just not in the know. Sometimes I don't want to know. All right. That rhymed, and I didn't even try to do that. You said I'm here no matter what. I know that's right, Maja. Thank you so much, sis. Y'all know we got to keep up with Chrissy and this damn baby. Y'all. Renee, sis, you got me clocking in, honey. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into it. Let's get into a conversation. So Jasmine put up a video. Now that's the only one I can talk about, y'all, because y'all know Libby was laid up having baby question mark. We ain't seen that baby yet. It's been about 3 days since the baby been born. We ain't seen it yet. Okay. Going nowhere, TMR. I'm a ride or die supporter. So whatever you bring. Oh, thank you so much, Sam Dolphin. Love you so much. Baby, what? But elevate. Nikki said, baby, what, baby? Nikki said, y'all, I just got here. Okay, who had a baby? Child. Now, Nikki, you know, strong mommy Chrissy pregnant girl with baby number 10. Oh Lord, here we go, y'all. Why y'all didn't for a while? Yeah, girl. There we go. Talking about these chicks, ussies. Yeah, honey. Chrissy pregnant with baby number 10. Yes, Nikki. Yeah, she pregnant, child. All right. Yeah, they say Jazz had been on Facebook posting cryptic message. I don't know why, as if we can't find her on Facebook. But shouts out to the Erics, honey. The Erics put up something that I thought was quite interesting, and I want to see if y'all can get your takes on this, honey. Okay.
Kissing and hope they cut us, whether they like it or not. I wanna show you out.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh Lord. So apparently, Phillip got Hannah some type of iced out necklace. Is them VVS's? What is that on there? Baebay. Did that come from the middle of the mall? Oh Lord. And Hannah, I don't know why her mouth looked like that. Phillip, you should at least let her take her bonnet off. Well, y'all, the people was asking, is Jasmine over there fighting the air? I said, I don't think so. Jasmine might have went with Phillip to go pick it out for Hannah. Because, you know, she loved Hannah. If it wasn't for Hannah, she wouldn't have no damn babysitter over there. I said, Lord, clam mercy. So what y'all think about that? What y'all think about Phillip? What y'all think about Phillip getting Hannah? Yeah, I think it came from the middle of the damn mall over there. What y'all think? Is that cute? Is they CZs? Oh, girl, I thought they were some VVS's. Oh, girl, child, I don't know what it is over there. I know Phillip. No. You said it's a hard no for you over there. Okay, all her hard work and got a necklace, not a ring. Baby. Ah! He gave her a ring around her damn neck. Oh Lord, let me see. I don't know what the DV arrest was about, y'all. I don't know who Phillip was over there rocking and socking. I hope it wasn't Hannah. Okay, Phil and Hannah can have the mall kiosk jury. Baby. I said, you know what? That's something. When we saw Phillip and Jasmine together, she was over there bending down on one knee, giving Phillip a ring in his drawers. Y'all, there's an old video when Phillip and Jasmine were together where she proposed to Phillip in his underwear and gave him this ring that she later went and put it on her Poshmark a year or so after he went to the clink over there. I said, and now Phillip over there getting Hannah. Oh Lord. Now Phillip over there getting Hannah necklaces and stuff. He never bought Jasmine one. All that damn study money he did. Y'all remember he went and did the studies. Jasmine told us the other day she went and did studies too. That's why she ain't got no feeling on the right side of her damn tongue over there. I said all that damn study money he was making, and child, he couldn't get you a ring around the tub, a ring around the rosies, baby. hell, an elephant ring, a lollipop ring, nothing. But he over there getting Hannah. I said, Baebay. I said, well, you know what? Maybe Jazz was not mad, okay? Because let's be honest, if her man, whoever that might be, once upon a time she told us that was Chris, but we don't know if that still is the case. Maybe Chris is over there whining and dining Jasmine, and she just cares not to show us because, you know, she don't want to make us jealous over there, okay? Oh boy, I don't know, y'all. Jasmine puts up with all the BS only for the next woman to reap the damn benefit. If I was Jasmine, I'd be a little in my feelings. Maybe not a lot of in my feelings, but maybe a little in my feelings. And 4 whole children and no damn ring, baby. She didn't get a donut ring. She didn't get a ring around the roses. Baby, she didn't get a ring around the bathtub. She didn't get nothing. But Hannah over there looking like a retard with her mouth. I said, girl, stop moving your mouth like that. Like, calm down. Hannah, you ain't never had no man do nothing for you either. I said, all these chicks and ain't never had nobody do nothing for them. But ain't nobody virgins. Ha! None of y'all are virgins, but yeah, none of the men have ever done anything for. Yeah, ring around the roses. Jasmine didn't get shit over there, looking like Bobby Brown. Right, sis? I said, well, y'all. Then Chrissy, she didn't put up a video either for Christmas that I know of. Okay, I said, well, shoot, she is pregnant over there. She probably tired. Okay. Well, no, because she said she got TikTok kids. She can't buy the kids anything. TMR only ring Jasmine had was that ring pop that made her lips blue po thing over there. Hey, be honest or do anything for themselves, because I'm not going to be impressed by something a man do that I could do for myself. Well, you know, Nikki, it's always a thought that counts, you know, because you could have a man. Well, nah, I'm going to take that lie back. Because me personally, I ain't going to have no man sitting in my face and they can't do nothing for me. I don't care if it is you go get me a ring around the roses. I am not going to have a man sitting in my face that can't do anything for me. However, you got some chicks that don't mind. Just long as the man come through the door, that's all they care about, okay? Oh Lord, she what'd you say? She knew Whoopi wasn't going to let her lowball her. Oh yeah, you talking about the color purple? Samson said she should have done like normal people and cover her mouth if you know the face not facing, not the face not facing. Nurse KP said, nah, the thought will have you living in entrapment. Okay. Baby. Well, you know, I don't know, okay? Because some of these chicks, as long as they get a baby out the ninja, they damn happy, okay? We know Jasmine and Chrissy definitely what Livy too. We ain't gonna leave her out. I wonder what baby question mark looking like over there. Y'all think when baby question mark come out, it's gonna be light skin or is it gonna be chocolate like them 3 oldest kids? Oh boy. Oh boy, I guess we'll find out here in the next, I don't know, week or so, okay? Baby question mark. Oh, for all of y'all that do not know, we renamed Libby's baby momentarily. We named it to baby question mark, okay? Because she told us that she was changing the name from Roxanne, and she said the daddy wasn't really feeling that name, and she said she wasn't gonna tell us what the new name is. So the other day when we went live, we just decided to call the baby question mark. Now, some of y'all may not know, but I did. Someone responded to me in the chat, and I thought we should probably name the baby reaction. Okay, baby reaction. Because we want to keep with the R's, because, you know, her daughter's names both start with R's. So I was thinking just call her baby reaction. Y'all think that would be fitting? I mean, hell, we've been talking about the damn baby in reaction videos for 9 damn months. At the end of the day, she at least need to give us some type of credit. They said Mean did a test. I'm gonna be very, very honest with y'all. I don't watch Mean even on a bad day. Okay, baby rematch over there. I don't watch Ming at all. Hell, until you just said Ming in the chat, I forgot all about that lady. I don't watch her, okay? Because I'm just trying to understand how you got over 600,000 subscribers on one platform, and child, nobody's watching the channel. That just baffles me. So when the baby don't look like AJ, she'll just make an excuse. Oh, okay. You think she gonna, what y'all think? She get it from my mama. You think that's what she gonna tell us, y'all? Po baby question mark over there. Baby question mark. We rooting for you, sis. We hoping and praying that you like your little brother AJ over there. Cause if not, oh Lord, baby question mark gonna be in many reaction videos. Okay. Ming is extremely boring. Oh my God. It's easy to figure out if it was her first love, you got, oh, you talking about lip? I don't know. She said the baby for baby question mark. She said that's AJ's daddy. She said they got the same daddy. Um, the people think different, but that's what Libby said, y'all. She's going to tell all kinds of lies. Well, y'all. So we're gonna move on past Libby, Chrissy, and Jasmine. There's really nothing to report on Jasmine, y'all. Her kids was over there fighting over one gingerbread house. And I said to myself, I said, Jasmine, sis, why you just didn't buy at least 4 gingerbread? I'm not saying little Legend over there needed his own gingerbread house. Let's be honest. Legend and what's his name? Aiden could have used. It was the kids, all the kids fighting over one gingerbread house. I said, Jasmine, why you just didn't buy more than one, sis? My goodness. I said, boy. Well, for all of you guys that may not know, Nika. Y'all know we talked about Nika, the lady with the 10 kids over there in South Carolina. With y'all, she I guess she called herself doing her big one for Christmas. The kids got bikes and clothes. The people said it was Toys from Tots sponsored. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna say this. I pray I see those bikes come to spring. I pray that Nika's kids get to ride those bikes all of 2024. I pray that we don't see the bikes on Christmas Day and we don't see those bikes again. I'm just praying. And if the gifts did come from an angel tree or any other place, I just thank God that she had enough sense to sign the kids up. Okay. Now, we do understand Nika gets paid from YouTube. She has not one but 2 channels. And one would think that you like we have said to all these moms, y'all make money on YouTube. Why don't y'all spend y'all money on y'all children instead of expecting your subscribers to do it? But at the end of the day, y'all, based off what we saw when we reacted to Nika the other day with that house with no furniture in it, if she got an angel tree, Salvation Army, United Christmas Way help, whatever help that woman got, okay, I'm just glad that she had enough sense to go get the help, okay? Because if she felt like she really wasn't going to do, there's no need for the children to suffer behind that. That's just my opinion. I heard organizations donated the children's gifts. Well, Shina, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad the organizations did that. Those kids deserve to have something on Christmas Day. And you know what was so funny, y'all? Those kids didn't even have on pajamas. They was up with street clothes on. I said, well, what happened to the kiddos getting up, where was the Christmas pajamas at? The kids didn't have on nan Christmas pajama. I said, Nika, did you forget to buy the kids Christmas PJs? Girl, you could have went to Walmart and got that. Child, they was up with clothes on like they was getting ready to go to school. I said, my God. Yeah, they said the bikes came from Offer Up. Or, oh, she gonna put them on Offer Up. Well, y'all, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Like I said, I pray to God. Come March, April, and May, we still see those bikes, them kids riding on them bikes. Nika, I don't have the people ask you where them kids' bikes at, and you never answer. Okay, please don't do anything to those kids' bikes. Allow those children to be children, please. My goodness. Hey, Suma. Nina Funky claiming that she's who is Nina? Oh, are you saying Nika? I don't know if you guys also know if you guys ever have you any of you guys ever followed a streamer Simone? A streamer Simone. I've done a reaction on her. It was a couple years ago, but she's pregnant. A streamer. If you guys watch a streamer Simone, she's pregnant. Who else is pregnant? Somebody else is pregnant. I can't think of it. Who it is right now. Nika claiming she pregnant. Baebay, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. A streamer Simone is pregnant. I know her for a fact. I can't think of anybody else. But if you guys watch a streamer Simone, she's pregnant with her second child. This is her second. Y'all talking about Nika's talking about she pregnant. Baby, please. No, ma'am. Yeah, a streamer Simone is pregnant with her second child. Okay, Army Barbie just had her son. Okay, I don't watch her. Excuse me, but I heard people talking about her. Well, I don't know. I will say this, y'all. I think Nika likes the negative attention. She feels in her mind that brings her more money. She thinks that's supporting her channel. And again, and in a sense, maybe it is. But I hope in 2024, these moms, all these moms, not just Nika, but Chrissy, Olivia, Jasmine, all of these mothers, I just hope they do better for themselves so they can do better for their children. I pray we don't live 2024 like we lived 2023, depressed, on the internet, arguing and fighting. I just pray that doesn't happen, right? I pray that these women do something to better themselves in 2024. If you know something, expand their channels. I mean, get a job. I mean, something. I don't know. There's a hold on. Let me see if I can find her video real quick. Give me one moment. You know what? I'm gonna say that for the next reaction. There's a channel I want y'all to watch. It's a girl I found the other day, and she talked about. Her name is Kaya, and she talked about a lot of people was sending her messages saying that she was unrelatable because she quit her job about a month ago, about 2 months ago. She quit her job to do content creation full time. Well, she didn't. Let me say this. She didn't like her job. So she ended up quitting her job. And in the midst of her quitting her job, since she already was doing YouTube, she just decided to do it full time. And she said a lot of people were sending her negative messages saying that since she's quit her job, she's unrelatable now. They were saying that, you know what? Let me find this video. Hold on. Okay, my bad, you guys. I had to go find it. All right, so let me pull her on. Some of you guys may not know her channel. She came up in my recommended, and I found the title to be interesting, so I clicked on the video. And so I just want you guys to hear this.
Mmm. Yeah. That is so good. Mmm. I know that's right, Duncan. Mmm. And shout out to my girl Gabby. Duncan on Gabby this morning. She sent me a gift card for my birthday. Shout out to you. I have not been like face to face, just talk to y'all in a minute. And we have some things to catch up on, okay? We sure do. So let me take another bite and then we'll talk. I haven't done. When's the last time I did a vlog? I mean, I did a vlog, but I deleted it because I really wasn't feeling it. And my last vlog, like besides my travel vlog, because I don't feel like that's face to face talking to y'all, was 3 weeks ago. And this is probably like my first time face to face talking to y'all for real, because it's just been. I want to say a lot going on because it's really not that deep, but it's just been. I've been in my head so much lately. So I'm gonna just catch y'all up on tea just so we can get this out of the way and I can talk to y'all and vent to y'all about what's been going on. You can skip this if you like, but I really want y'all to pay attention because what I'm about to say is very, very important as to why I'm not making content, why my content's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So recently, I've been getting a lot of DMs, messages, comments about how like my content hasn't been the same since I quit my job. I'm not relatable anymore, all this type of stuff. And there was some messages between me and this girl. I don't feel any type of way towards her. She was just generally stating how she felt along with a lot of other people. So I'm just gonna read you guys her message and then I'm gonna read you guys my message just so, because this basically kind of sums up everything into one. She said, "Hey, I just wanted to text you as a supporter. I seen your post saying how your content felt forced, so you're taking a break. I have seen a change in your content. When I first started watching you, I loved it because I could relate to you. The working a regular 9 to 5 while doing content, keeping your life private, traveling, etc. Just living your life. And after you quit your job, I don't know what she was saying after this. I'm gonna skip that part. But I do feel like the content started to look like the rest of the community. I hope my message comes off the right way. I mean no harm. I'm just saying we need the authentic content in the world to shift the community. And you were doing that. Don't give up. Take your time and recoup. I love you. You inspired me." And that was very nice. Like some people come in my DMs and come off crazy. They'd be like, "Oh, your content is just like everybody else. You suck now. This, and that." And it's just like very OD. Like that'd be very uncalled for. But her message was really nice. I responded back to her and I said at the end, I hope this wasn't seen as coming off. I just tried to explain myself the best I can. Because I posted this on my spam too, like my response to her, just so everybody could understand like where I'm coming from. So my response was, "Hey babe, I think everyone feels the same way, but I generally don't live to make content. I live for me. I lost a lot of supporters when I quit my job and I knew that would happen. A lot of people only like that side of me because it was relatable, and now a lot of people see me as unrelatable just because I don't work. I'm not going to do things just to bring my content back to what it was. I'm me before a YouTuber. YouTube is always a side hustle / hobby for me. Real life always comes first. I'm super aware my content is different, and that's why I'm taking a break. But right now, I can't give y'all the relatable content. Again, I'm living life for real and not worried about coming on YouTube being relatable. I just want to live, which is why I'm gonna do that offline." And then I told her, like, I hope I'm not coming off. Like, I just tried to explain myself. I just been getting a lot of criticism about how I'm not relatable anymore because I quit my job. And I guess that's understandable, but I really want y'all to understand, I don't mean no harm when I'm saying this. I don't do YouTube to be relatable. Like some people just genuinely are related to me and they feel like we do the same things and stuff. But the one thing everybody said that made me relatable was working a 9 to 5. And now that I don't do that, a lot of people don't relate to me, which is okay. I say this all the time. I will never, ever in my life change my lifestyle for YouTube. I'm recording to show y'all my life. I'm not gonna change my life just so I can have more people attached to me, more people can be related. No, I quit my job. I was happy with my decision. And if I'm not relatable, I'm just not relatable. You know what I'm saying? I guess a lot of people just gravitated to me due to the fact I was working a 9 to 5. And now that I'm not, I lost so many supporters. Like I'm really in my flop era right now. But it's just like, I don't know. I quit my job. It's been a little bit over a month. And if you've been on my spam and stuff and keeping up with me, you know how much I've been miserable. Like, I really don't want to come off the wrong way. I hate venting because I feel like sometimes it sounds like I'm complaining or I'm like ungrateful, but I'm really just telling how I feel. Basically, like, ever since I quit my job and I become a full-time content creator, honestly, y'all, I have hated it so bad. I never had any interest of being a full-time content creator. And I made that very clear in all my past videos. I did not quit to become a full-time content creator. But like, I genuinely have no interest in doing this full-time. Like, I feel like ever since I quit my job and started doing only this, I've completely lost my love for YouTube. Like, every time I pick up a camera, I'm just irritated. Like, today I feel like I'm kind of low-key getting back into it. But the past month, I'm really losing my love for YouTube, y'all. And I feel like it's because I made it full-time. Once you make something you genuinely love, a full-time thing, rather than keeping it as a hobby or like a monetized hobby, a side hustle, whatever, it's really draining because now you're forced to do it no matter what you feel like. And I'm not forcing myself to do nothing, okay?
So I found that to be interesting because in a sense, I thought about the moms, right? I know a lot of you guys were more focused on her nails and stuff like that, but let me explain. She just came off of like vacation. So you know that those were her vacation nails. She has a more recent video that she put out where she went and got her nails done and she got them cut down, you know, they're regular size, like they're not that long. She just got them that long because she had went on a couple of vacations. But she's young, you guys. She's in her 20s. And I just found that to be interesting when people said, her name is Kaya. I found it to be interesting that she said that people felt like she was unrelatable once she quit her job. And her whole thing is, I do YouTube just, to do YouTube. I started doing YouTube. She ended up getting monetized, but she was still working and used YouTube as a passive income. And obviously, now that she's not working, she says later in the video that she is really trying to look for a job. Like, she wants to go back to work. She don't want to go back to the job that she had, but she wants to go back to work. She enjoyed going to work. And I found that to be, because she's in her mid-20s and, a lot of the that era or generation of the, what is that, Gen Z or Gen X generation, they're more like, I don't want to work for somebody. I want to work for myself. You find a lot of the younger generation is doing social media and things of that nature. And I found it odd for her to say that she really enjoyed working. She just didn't like her job anymore. She was, she was unhappy. And let's be honest, you guys, when you're unhappy with doing something, some people don't have the courage to just walk away. Now, I believe she doesn't have any children. And I think she lives with her mom, maybe, or I don't, like I said, I just found her channel like 2 days ago. So I don't know a whole lot about her. But I don't know. I just took that conversation to be interesting, that people decided she said she lost a lot of supporters because she quit her job and people felt like they couldn't relate to her anymore. Because one of the main things is that she says later in this video, because she talked for about like another 7 or 8 minutes in the video. She said that a lot of these vloggers, full-time vloggers, content is all the same. They pretty much go to Target and take trips, and that's it. And I guess with her working and having a mix of showing her work life and other content, I didn't watch any of her videos while she was still working her job. I didn't go back and watch any of those videos, but I guess her audience related with her more because although she was doing YouTube, but what she was vlogging was her, her work life. And, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can follow people because you enjoy whatever type of content that they're showing, but just understand people's lives change. Like, people change their thoughts as people grow. They, their interests change and stuff like that. So I don't know. They're all lazy. They don't know what it is to work hard. These moms want easy money, but doesn't last long. TMR, do you know what she did for work? No, I don't. I think she was in sales. And she just didn't like her job anymore. But she's looking for a job right now. Like, she wants to go back to work. She basically says she's bored, vlogging. She said that's something that she didn't necessarily want to do full time, but it was a backup for her because it was monetized. She already had her following monetized. So once she stopped working full time, and she's only been without a job like about a month. She hasn't been without a job for like 6 months. But it was funny how she said that, once she started vlogging full time, she no longer really found an interest in it because it became I don't know. I guess she found more pleasure in going to work every day. And I just found that to be, different because you see a lot of girls her age, not all there, but there's quite a few, young ladies her age that will rather not work and vlog their lives. And she's the total opposite. She actually wants to go back to work and do like she was doing before and just, vlog on the side. Like she said, just showing you guys what I'm doing in my life. And at that time, it was going to work. So, hey, Ebony, laying in the hospital bed, glad you're up. Oh, Ebony, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better, sis. I hope it's not anything very serious. So I don't know. I think that spoke a lot for the moms too. I think Jasmine in particular is definitely, I'm gonna say this, quote unquote, what the Kaya used in her flop era. I think these girls have went so hard on social media to where now it's not as entertaining to them as it was when we first started watching them a few years ago. And I think they really feeling the brunt of that, especially Jasmine, because she has a lot going on in her personal life outside of her, social media life. And I believe she's kind of like Kaya. But one thing about Jasmine that I feel wouldn't be the sentiments that Kaya had, Jasmine's, in my opinion, will never give up YouTube. And I feel she wouldn't give it up because it's too easy and she's lazy and she doesn't want to do anything but YouTube. And like I said, you can make good money doing YouTube, but you got to do, primarily all of Jasmine's videos are in that house. And it's like, girl, I don't know. She would definitely benefit from getting out that house more and spicing up her content. But I think Jasmine just has became complacent with the views that she receives and the money that she receives. And as long as she can pay her bills, she doesn't need any extra. Again, that's just my opinion. The mommy blogger starter kit, sit in your car, food in your mouth, Sam's trips, pregnancy tests, right? That's understandable though. Maybe she's the type that has to keep her hands in different ventures. I don't see a problem and I wish her well. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that either. It was the fact that she got a lot of hate because she quit her job. And I think a lot of times that comes from jealousy because people wish they could do what you're doing and they don't know how to do it. She quit her job because she wasn't happy at the job. And she decided to do YouTube full time because she was already monetized doing it. Like she got to have income somewhere, But she said in her video, she is desperately looking for another job. She said she even contemplated moving out of the state. I don't even know what state she lives in. Like I said, if some of you guys come across this video and watches her more, and y'all know what she does, just, leave it in the comments in the replay. But I don't know. I thought that conversation was kind of interesting because I've never, especially a girl her age on YouTube, I never heard anybody in their mid-20s speak like she did about vlogging, like full-time content creation. She was more of a negative for it than a positive. And she doesn't have any children. And she, like I said, she's in her mid-20s and she finds more contentment with going to work every day than she does, vlogging. I don't think it's that easy for these moms though. Let me see the mom. Okay, I read that. All right. Like I said, you guys, I just wanted to give you a little mix of what I've been seeing and what I've been thinking about. And like I said, I came across her channel and I just found that video to be interesting. Aside from the fact that she was eating in the video, I really wasn't paying too much attention to that. I was really paying more attention to her conversation. And I thought that was so odd how people came with her with hate. People sending her DMs and basically saying, since you quit your job, you're not relatable. And I'm like, I mean, you only signed up for her channel because she worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, you found her on YouTube. You didn't find her at her job. I don't know. That was kind of odd. You don't leave a job in these times unless you have another one lined up. Well, Sam Dolphin, in her situation, she's young. She doesn't have any children. And I believe she lives with her mother. So her situation might be a little different than yours, right? So she probably has the flexibility of doing that. Now, if she had her own house, her own apartment, you know, and all these other, a child or one or two or three or four, yeah, you definitely can't make that decision. Now, I'm not saying just because you don't have any kids, you shouldn't quit a job without having another one to back you up. To a responsible person, if you're going to leave a job responsibly, you should have another one to back you up. But I'll just say, in her defense, she doesn't have children. She doesn't have her own place. She lives with her, I believe, her mother. I believe. Don't quote me to that. She doesn't live alone. I'll say that. So in her situation, she doesn't have, you know, the majority of the big bills that most of us do, as far as mortgage, car note, and stuff like that. The biggest bill that you can have is your mortgage / rent. And she doesn't have that because she lives with somebody. So she had the flex, and she probably had money saved up. She also does YouTube too, so she makes money off of that. So, you know, she probably had some money. She probably had a little cushion, you know, because you can, if you can, here's the thing, you can quit a job if you don't have another one to back you up. But you got to be a good steward with your money. You know, you got to be a person who has a savings account, you know, and you could probably make that decision, especially if you don't have children or if you have one child. And like I said, you have a savings account, and you cushion for emergencies. Because anything can happen. You can get ill on work and have to take FMLA. And we know, for all of us who have done that before, you know, you only get a fraction of your income on FMLA. So even with you still getting 60% of your paycheck, you know, most people bills are based off 100% of their paycheck. So if you do that, you still need to have a savings put up for those type of situations. She has different obligations than maybe others, so she may be unrealistic to others. That's true too, Suma. That is definitely true. All right, you guys, that's my time, honey. I just wanted to get on here and chit chat with you guys. Like I said, I'm so sorry that I did not wish you all Merry Christmas. If you're just coming into the chat, Merry Christmas or Merry belated Christmas. We are definitely rapidly approaching the new year. So I know you guys may have a lot of plans because, you know, this year, New Year's Eve is basically the weekend. So I don't know what you guys' plans are, but if you guys have any plans, make sure you leave it in the replay of what you guys have planned for New Year's. And I'll definitely see you guys in the next one, honey. Remember, sub what you love. Bye.